Hi and welcome. We are now doing the Kitchen Cuisine Tasting Bar edition. And I am Eleanor, and I am here with Pasolivo to walk you through a couple of our fantastic olive oils today. We're giving you guys about 5 minutes to do some prepping. Right now you're probably running around, grabbing your stuff, putting it out on your table. We've got the Basil olive oil, we've got the Tuscan extra virgin olive oil, we've got our Tuscan balsamic, and our sweet basil plum balsamic. These are the liquids we're going to be using. These are the seasonings, the roasted garlic, salt, and the spicy Italian blend. So grab all of those, pull them together. I know there were a lot of questions about how should I be doing this tasting today. So the question is, how do you want to do the tasting today? It's up to you how you want to do it, on what vessel I'm going to suggest. If you're going to be dipping, grab some bread, grab some gluten-free crackers, get something to transfer oil to mouth and enjoy the deliciousness. If not, if you're doing both, you can use a wine glass. You can use just a regular kind of juice glass. Little bowl, sample bowl, something that you put salt in. If you're going to be dipping, you can also use a plate. Or if you can just pour it onto a spoon and taste it this way. There are many, there's a way to taste where you dip bread, and we usually suggest that in the tasting room because that's how in daily life you're going to enjoy this olive oil. You're going to be using it with food. If you are going kind of more professional, you want to taste it in its own right without any other object, and that is great as well. So you can pour, for example, the Tuscan into a cup. If you do, and if you want to get professional, one palm underneath, palm over the top, you'd be swirling it to get those aromas going and get some warmth from your palm, and then kind of aerating it so you're getting the nuances throughout the mouth. So with that being said, that gives you an idea of what items to bring out to do the tasting. I will say, just right off the bat, if you have any questions, this works best when it's a back and forth. So I'm here for you. Try to stump me. I am here to get stumped. I'm here to give you a lot of information about our extra virgin olive oil and these specific flavors today, but also to answer any questions you might have about what you've heard in the media about olive oil, what's right, what's not right, how to store it. That is what I'm here for today. So where are we at time-wise? Are we still giving a little bit more time? How's everybody doing? Are you pulling everything? Are you ready to go? Let us know, and I'll get going. But for now, I want to make sure that you have everything at your fingertips. I will say, if you have your seasonings, I've got little spoons to go with the seasonings. I'm going to be using our Mary Judge dipping dish for when we start marrying the olive oil and the balsamic, just because I love this. It's nice and sturdy, it's beautiful, goes in the dishwasher fine, I don't have to hand wash, and it's beautiful just to display good extra virgin olive oil. So this is what I'll be using. We do sell these in the tasting rooms and online, so if you want to take an eyeball at it, go ahead, hop on our site, or give us a call at our tasting room and we'll help you out. All right, so that's what I've got going on for that. Also, if you have any mini mason jars or regular size mason jars to make salad dressing, if that's how you want to come out of this with a good salad dressing, go ahead and grab those. Anything with a bottom and a top, Tupperware even. If you have visited us in the tasting room, you recognize these situations right here. This is where we make the magic happen. Pour about 50-50 and shake it up. So you'll be seeing this throughout the tasting as well, here and when you visit us at the tasting rooms. All right, so hopefully everybody has got their goodies in front of them now. when you walk into our tasting room, you get a little bit of information about us. So I want to give you a little bit of background. We are a local to Pasolivo's olive oil company. We have 45 acres of olive trees, and we have 12 varieties of olives now, and about 6,500 trees. Everything is grown on our property, so everything is estate. So that's something to keep in mind, because we're not sourcing from all over the place. Everything is organically grown, hand-picked, tractored down to our mill, milled there, bottled there, released there. There are concerns about acidity in olive oil. There's concerns about the level of perfection of extra virgin olive oil. What is fantastic is when your olive is very poorly traveled, let's say. So our olive is going from a tree straight down to the press and straight into bottles. There's not a lot of travel time going on. They're not going and getting loaded into vehicles to get trucked over to a mill somewhere else, bumping and bruising and distressing the olive for it to line up, because harvest happens everywhere at the same time. Line up, wait to get pressed, then go somewhere else to get bottled. That's a lot of traveling for a poor little olive to do. Our olives, they like hanging out and home, and we let them. So that's the nice thing about us. That, and also the transparency. So I'm sure I'm talking to a lot of people who have visited our tasting room before, but I'd love to think that I'm also talking to a bunch of people who haven't and are going to once we can. And what's great about us is how transparent we are, because you can come to visit us during harvest. You can watch that magic happen. You can taste olive oil coming straight out of the spout. It is magical. It's something, I mean, we call it liquid gold, and I don't feel like that's, blowing it out of proportions. So keep that in mind. Definitely come visit us. Give us a call. We give tours. We love doing tastings. We will we'll give you an idea about when our harvest is. It's usually around November-ish. So that's what's beautiful about getting to find out about a kind of boutique olive oil place, because this is painstakingly and lovingly created. So with that spiel done, I want to go into what I would first have everybody taste when they walked into the tasting room, which is our Tuscan olive oil. I'm going to remove all of the vessels. You have your idea. You've got your vessels now by now, hopefully. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. For example, okay, you're talking about extra virgin olive oil, or EVO for short. What creates an extra virgin olive oil? First press only, cold pressed only, acidity level of I think around 0.5 or lower. So that's what they're looking for. By they, I say California Olive Oil Council, the councils that are overseeing extra virgin olive oil. Ours usually comes up around 0.05 acidity. With that low smoke or low acidity point comes a high smoke point. So all of these are good to go for around 420, 425. That's one of the benefits of having good quality extra virgin olive oil, is because you don't need 19 different oils depending on what you're doing. Well, I've got this for salads, I've got this for high heats, I've got this for baking. You can have one, you're good. Clear the clutter. We're all doing that right now. We're all stuck at home. Clear your clutter out. Just grab one good quality olive oil and you're set. I will say also, no matter what you're doing, you can always use olive oil in place of anything that a recipe is calling for. So veggie oil, canola oil. I usually put that stuff, and I'll usually bring olive oil into the mix, and it usually elevates it, always elevates it. So keep that in mind. So we're going to grab I don't know if you have a pour spout with you. We sell these pour spouts, which are fantastic because they're weighted. So that means that the oxygen is going to stay out as much as possible, but it allows for a nice, decent pour as well. So if you've come to our tasting room, you recognize this little guy right here. This is our little tasting cup. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Okay, so this is our Tuscan olive oil. This was voted best in show at the LA International Olive Oil Competition. It is we have 4 extra virgin olive oils. This is considered the most bold out of the 4. I will say it is so well balanced. Again, if you want to do it like this, warming it up, cupping it, doing a little stir around, getting the aromas, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, grab a piece of bread, tear off a chunk of bread, don't just put the whole thing in there, dip and taste. So beautiful. So, I mean, to me, in Paso, when it's 103 degrees, this is dinner right here. But there's so much else that you can do with our oils. So what's nice about it, just putting this out, this really shows you the quality level. But you can drizzle this on salads. You can put this on pastas. You can bake with it, cook with it. Because it's a bold olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, an olive oil cake, this would really be pronounced in it and really give you that green feeling and flavor in your mouth, as well as that sweetness of the cake. It's always going to make everything a lot more moist, a lot more dense. So taste that by itself. If you want to do the aeration, you can. And we always start off with the 4 extra virgin olive oils in the tasting room before we move on to any flavorings, any seasonings, anything like that. But we've paired it up with some great balsamics. So I get to jump a step today and bring in the balsamic. So there's 2 ways to taste the balsamic, whether you're doing it by itself, to taste it by itself. Now these are made locally, organically. They are, it is a fantastic couple that makes it all of our balsamics and vinegars, and we are so proud to kind of partner up with them. So these 2 together are beautiful just sitting outside with a glass of wine. But you can also pair them up together. So it's about 50-50. I'm eyeballing, obviously that's how I live my life, eyeballing. Shake it up so it emulsifies, thickens up a bit. And this thick, beautiful blend right here is a fantastic salad dressing. So I can put money on the fact that once you start making your own salad dressings with our stuff, you will never go back to store-bought, because everything is so fresh. It is also to your taste, and it just brings out the flavors. It's not overpowering the flavors that you put in your salads. This, because now we've added the acidity of the balsamic, becomes a really beautiful meat tenderizer too. So if you are into chicken, steak, beef, pork, because of the sweetness of the balsamic, works really well with pork, but put that in a Ziploc, put your meat in there, zip it up, let it sit for a little bit, tenderize, break down the meat, and then plop it on the grill. Set. You're gonna be in love. Works really well with like fajita type veggies or kebabs. So this is one of those great go-tos. All right, so moving on. Let me know how you guys, how you feel about this. The Tuscan is blueberries and oregano that's in here. So that's what you're getting, that beautiful balance of flavors, the sweetness, the herbal, all together in one balsamic. All right, so we've paired those 2 up together. And then we brought probably the showstopper and the favorite of the flavored olive oils, the basil. So the basil is made by milling 400 to 500 pounds of fresh organic basil to 1 ton of olives. Definitely one of those times to visit. The whole place smells amazing. It's 8+ hours of hand slicing, organic basil and putting it into the hammer mill at the same time as the olives are going through. So when you taste this, it is like biting into a fresh basil leaf. It is beautiful. It'll make you want to run to the farmer's market and get yourself an heirloom tomato and pour it all over. It is just one of those beautiful flavors that you just start brainstorming all of a sudden what you want to do with your cooking. When people are here in the tasting room, they always start thinking, oh my gosh, wait, I think we could go to the store and get some mozzarella. I think we can go and get some pasta, and just we need to use this tonight. There's this like immediate need to try to bring this into your daily life because it's that kind of good. So if you haven't jumped ahead already and poured some to taste, go ahead and do so. Let's get you out of the way. This is our basil. So right off the bat, like I said with the Tuscan, taste it by itself first. Don't involve any seasonings. Taste it by itself. Dip, sip, enjoy it. And then from there, we'll start branching out. So this is when we're bringing in our seasonings. This is our roasted garlic sea salt. So you'll see, and this will happen to yours too, it's a little bit kind of stuck like this, and that's because the way that it's made is with actual roasted garlic. So it's gonna have some moisture with it that will make it kind of thicken up, and that is okay because it is fantastic. I wish you guys could smell this because the smell is just fantastic. Okay, so break it up, put a little bit down on your plates, and then bring out, again, one of the heavy hitters, the spicy Italian blend, and plop that down. Yeah. Okay, so the seasonings are all pulled together locally as well. They are organic and fresh. Have we got 5 minutes left? Okay. And just gorgeous. So taste them by themselves and then mix them together, because that spicy Italian blend doesn't have any salt with it. So you can mix and match and bring that salt in together. So I was mentioning bringing in this Mary Judge plate. So a little bit of basil, a little bit of the sweet basil plum, a little bit more fruity than that Tuscan. Has that basil, so it's going to bring out the basil and the olive oil. So you can dip and taste just the oil. You can dip and taste the two together, or you can put all of them together. And this is just fantastic to start an Italian meal. Yep, this is what you want to do. You want to sit outside in the warm summer months with this and a slice of bread, right? Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. I will let you know as you're tasting and enjoying and loving. This is going to continue. The tasting bar is going to continue, and we want you to come on back, and you can buy the bundles before you hop online. And that means that all of this will be at your fingertips as I'm talking about it. So next week we have the lemon olive oil and and the cucina extra virgin olive oil. So we're gonna do an extra virgin again and the lemon, both gorgeous. The lemon is a Meyer lemon, so great for baking as well as for cooking. The balsamic is going to be the blackberry balsamic, and we've got a vinegar this time. So we've got the sparkling citrus. So those are all a fantastic bundle together, completely different from these guys. So come on back and join us next week when we're going to be tasting those with additional seasonings. You can go on our website and you can actually just buy the bundle all together, which is great, because then the sooner you do it, the sooner you get it, and you'll be able to join me for the tasting next week. I will say, if you're falling in love with our extra virgin olive oil, we do have a club. It's free to join. It means that you get 10% off almost everything in the store and online, and you get to create your bundles when you create your shipment. So if you want to go olive oil heavy, I feel you. Go ahead and do that. If you want to switch it up every once in a while and get some of our olive oil soaps and olive oil lotions, you can do that as well. So definitely give us a call if you have a question about the club. I'm Eleanor. You can mention me and say that you saw the information on the tasting table, and we can answer any questions you might have and kind of expand if you need any more information about that. I will say that if you're liking this but are saying, okay, I'm stumped, what else can I do? As a club member, you get a cookbook, and in the cookbook you're going to get a ton of recipes, all involving our extra virgin olive oil. So you should never be stumped again. So that's the beautiful thing. Recipes such as, I think this one is involving the Tuscan curry roasted carrots. Again, involving the Tuscan roasted pumpkin with walnuts and feta, and involving the basil asparagus caprese egg bake, and the basil oil roasted tomato caprese spread. Recipes like that and a ton more. So if you do want to expand your olive oil library and want to do it from a good and reputable source that you know where it comes from, you can visit where it grew up as a baby, go ahead, touch base with us. We're here for you. We're here to answer any questions you might have, and here to continue to educate about olive oil. So I want to make sure that I'm here for you and I'm answering any questions you have. So if you don't get your question answered right now today, go ahead, hop online, send us questions. We can answer them on the next tasting room as well. This video is going to be up online for a bit on Facebook, I believe. So if you didn't have the bits and pieces with you today, order them, get them to you so that you can jump in and join in next time. All right? So I think I'm all set here. How was the tasting for you guys? I know a lot of you ordered it, so I'm excited to hear back and excited to know what you thought about the tasting experience. We would love to hear more from you. I'm always a big fan of the back and forth, so give us a thumbs up, a heart, and if you ever make any beautiful recipes, go ahead and hashtag us or at Pasolivo, and we will give you some love and some waves. So this was it for me. I don't want to talk your ear off, although I totally could. So I hope you enjoyed the tasting experience, and we will see you next week for the next bundle. Cucina, lemon. I think you're going to fall in love again. All right, see you later.